Rip to me, I had this adorable little tripod and it broke. And yes, I got it for $5. That doesn't matter. Today, we're going to be talking about the sustainability movement and how it targets, at least I believe in my mind, like it targets teenagers who are just going into college or teenagers who are already in college, and how that's not feasible. And I'm going to give you some real world examples about that. I think it's important that when we're talking about sustainability to define what it is that we're actually talking about. Today, I'm going to be talking about sustainability in the sense of climate change, in the sense of global warming, not sustainability in the fact of ethical legal practices, ethical labor practices. I understand why those two subjects get lumped together a lot, because it is very important to make sure that who you're buying from is treating their workers fairly. Today, we're not going to be talking about that, though. We're going to be talking specifically about sustainability, because I think that's where a lot of people get started. And I think that's where we see, people having the most guilt, But today is specifically sustainability as it relates to like green movements, to carbon emissions, to living like a clean life, a trash-free life type thing. Like that's what we're talking about today. So today, we have a straw. Look at the straw. You ready? We're going to use the straw. I know. Kind of crazy. Pepsi, please sponsor me. I'm going to give you some real world examples on why being sustainable in college is just not feasible. And I don't think being completely sustainable is feasible at any point in time. But today we're going to specifically talk about it. And I have examples with me, aka my dinner, which I will stop filming in the middle of this so that I can eat it because it's nachos and they're probably already fairly soggy. But the systems are not set up for us to be completely sustainable. I live in a square. I live in a square and it's a double as a single. So I'm the only person living in it, but usually there would be two people living in it. My kitchen consists of my extra desk with my microwave and my Keurig on it and my mini fridge under my bed. That's my kitchen. That's what I have to cook. And granted, in my building, we do have a kitchen that you can access in the basement, but you can't use it fully. One example of that is I can't use oils on the cooktop. No oil. They have a list of oils. There are oils on that list that I have never even heard of, or would never even, like sunflower oil. I know sunflower oil exists. My dad used to like grow sunflowers like in a field. I know sunflower oil exists. I just never thought that you would like cook on a stovetop with it like you would like vegetable oil or olive oil. That was a random tangent. But anyways, so I have a kitchen available to me, but it's not a full kitchen that I can use in the full way that I would like. And I also have to get the key for it. I have to, 1, hope that no one else is using the kitchen. 2, hope that whoever used the kitchen before me cleaned said kitchen. And 3, I have to physically go and get the key and then bring all of my food down to the kitchen, or leave my food in the kitchen and have no telling as to whether somebody has actually like eaten my food or is using my food, or maybe left the refrigerator open the entire time they were cooking and now my food's kind of bad. Like, I have no measurement of that, and that sucks for me because I really enjoy cooking. But that means that I get all of my meals, as most of us who live in the dorms do, at the dining hall. And of course, like that's a normal thing. The people who live in the dorms, they have their meal plans and they get their food from the dining hall. And that in and of itself is a system that is set up by housing and dining. Your university's housing and dining, however they set that up, that is set up. And you have no control over that, especially as like a freshman or a sophomore in college. You don't have much control over that, and you don't have much control over what you eat in that aspect. It's whatever the dining hall is serving. And I want to show you that, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to get these things from your college, and they're maybe not be the best for the environment, but it's okay. And let me explain. Obviously, first we have my drink. It's raspberry iced tea, by the way. It's really good. It's a paper cup with a plastic lid and a plastic straw. Not sustainable, but it's what they provide for us, and we're not allowed to bring our water bottles in, or if we do, we have to keep them in our backpacks. By necessity, if I want a drink from the dining hall, this is what I got. And if I sit in the dining hall, this is all I have if I sit in the dining hall. Now, this is my food that I got today. First of all, I bring this bag. This was not a bag that was provided for me. I got this bag at Joann's. Life's a peach. Now let's unpack my lunch here. First, we have dessert on top. Again, paper container, plastic on top. Oh, I can't wait. Doesn't it? You can't, the sun glare. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. Yum. I can't wait. Next, we have napkins. Plain and simple. And then we have the dreaded styrofoam container. Plastic thing of salsa. Silverware. I kid you not. This is, first I gotta, they're not great looking, but they're nachos, and I need to eat them because they're definitely soggy. But that's what my lunch comes in, and I get that twice a day, lunch and dinner. Sometimes I'll get breakfast. I don't normally get breakfast. But if we look at like the people who like get meals in the dining hall, you're usually getting 2 to 3 meals there every day. That's 2 to 3 styrofoam thingies, unless you get a deli sandwich and then it's all in paper. So it's like 2 to 3 styrofoam thingies. There's plastic on your dessert. There's plastic in a styrofoam cup if you want like chilled fruit. This is how you get your drink, and this is an example of how you can get your coffee. Paper cup, plastic lid. That's a lot of what it is. It's paper and it's plastic and it's kind of recyclable, not really. And that's okay. And that's the system that's been put in place, and I can't change that system because it's the necessity. It's the necessity right now. The point I'm trying to make here is that this is a carbon footprint that I cannot control, but that I need to use to live, to eat, to survive. And that's okay. And this world is not built for us to, be completely sustainable. And the average person does not have time to worry about that. And that's what we're going to talk about next, but I'm going to take a quick break to eat. I'm going to eat. Hi, I'm back and my dinner's eaten. What I was saying is that by necessity, I can't be completely sustainable in the way that I eat. And I think that's true for a lot of people. That there are a few nights a week that I can't eat at the dining hall. And that's because of work. And that's because of the time that the dining hall closes. Because it closes super early in the evening. Like, excuse you, I would normally eat dinner at 9 o'clock at night, but you're closing at 7:30. It doesn't work out. And so I have to fend for myself generally. And a lot of times I don't have the energy to cook in a space that is not mine. And I think we need to talk about that for a second, because that's one thing that I hear a lot is, oh, well, if your dorm has a kitchen, you can just cook in there. My dorm has a kitchen. We've discussed the kitchen. And as I said, my kitchen in my dorm is my microwave, my Keurig, and this desk, a desk. That's my kitchen. I don't even have running water in my room. To wash any dishes, I have to go to either the closet. Not a thing I want to do. Nope. Or I wash them in the sinks in the bathrooms, which you have to be careful about because they don't have garbage disposals. They're sink trap sinks. And then the kitchen sink downstairs in the kitchen doesn't have a garbage disposal either. That just adds a whole new layer to having to wash dishes and getting them clean, because you can't get them clean in the way that you need. And also the kitchen sinks. Bathroom sinks are here's the end of the faucet and here's the bottom. I can't fit my water bottle in there. The system is designed, and the dorms and housing and dining are set up to where I cannot be sustainable in the food that I eat. And that is something that I had to make peace with. Like, I really, really, really wanted to be that person who could be super eco-friendly and super green and super sustainable throughout college. Like, I really wanted to be that person. And then my first depression cycle hit of college. Boom! I had dishes that weren't washed. I had mugs that weren't washed. If you don't know what happens to coffee when you leave it out for like a week, like, you're truly blessed. You are truly blessed. I had no energy to do anything, and here we go. Like, that knocked out everything. And I think that's a conversation that is not had. We talk a lot about able-bodied people and those who are disabled and their relationships with things like straws and, reusable plates or throwaway plates. That's something that we don't talk about as people who are neurodivergent or people who have depression or anxiety, who have a hard time washing some of those things if they are living in a space where they can't compartmentalize. I know personally, when I'm like at home with my parents, that doesn't happen because there's a kitchen sink that I can rinse my mugs out in. There's a dishwasher that I can put them in, instead of having to like take everything that you need to wash a mug with you to the bathroom, which is not a place where you're supposed to be washing things. Wash it there, take everything back, and then do that for as many times as you have things that you can carry. You can only carry so many mugs, And that's something that's not talked about. And that's something that I think needs to be talked about also in relation to living in college life. I, as a person, would like to be sustainable, but society makes it thus so that I cannot. And that does kind of suck. But it also, you have to make sure that you're putting your energy into things that you're passionate about. But you can't die on every hill. That's why it's called your hill to die on. It's a singular hill. You can't die on every hill, and I can't die on the sustainability hill. It's a thing I cannot do. And it's a thing that I've had to accept. I can't. It's not possible for me. It's not mentally possible. It's not good for me to die on that hill. I have other hills, that I can die on. I have other things in my life that I'm passionate about. I can't die on the sustainability hill. And this is a message to all of you freshmen and sophomores and like teenagers who are just getting out of high school or just going into college, or people maybe, I don't know, who are just getting out of college. You don't have to be completely sustainable. And I needed somebody to tell me this my freshman year of college, because it ate me up inside that I couldn't. You do not have to be completely sustainable. It is not your fault that the world is kind of shitty right now as far as climate change and global warming goes. It's not your individual fault. It is the fault of the large corporations that are putting so much carbon into our system. It is the problem of towns who do not have the resources for avid recycling. It is the fault of our lawmakers for pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement a while ago. It was, granted, we're back in at this point, but it is the fault of powers that are much higher and powers that are so much bigger than one person. And it's okay if you, as a person, don't buy secondhand clothing. It's okay if you, as a person, drink with a straw. It's okay if you, as a person, just lives and you don't necessarily think about sustainability all the time. It's not your issue. It's not everybody's issue, and that's okay. Another way to look at this is our government has committees. We have the Senate and the House, but there are committees that are made up of those legislative members, of those congressmen and women. And the reason there are committees is because all of the people in the Senate, one, don't have time to devote to every single different thing. That's why we have committees based on sustainability. That's why we have, committees based on like other things. There's the education committee, there's the transportation committee, there's the budget committee. If our government needs those committees to operate because one person, one legislator, one congressperson can't do everything, that means you, as just like a regular person, can't do everything either. And that's okay. That's really like legitimately okay. And I think not enough people hear that. So it's okay. Like, you're fine. Find another hill to die on if you can't die on this one. And you don't really have to die on a hill either. Or just find something else that you're passionate about. Like, everything will be okay. But thank you so much for watching. At the end card, there's probably a video that it will, recommend. Feel free to watch that video. Feel free to subscribe. Most of you are probably here from TikTok, but you can follow me on TikTok. That's down below. It's Leah the Duck. I'm Leah the Duck. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a good day. Bye. Oh my God. Wait. Oh my God. I forgot to introduce you. This is Belinda. She's my car cow. We love her. Her name is actually Belina, according to her tag, but I read it as Belinda, and my mind can't let it go. So this is Belinda, and we love Belinda. And she's here in the car, and she was here all through filming, and she thinks I did a great job, and she thinks that you should follow me on all the social medias, and you should subscribe. Listen to Belinda, please.